Have erupted across the country again, including Dallas and Fort Worth. Their voices heard, but they are discouraging violence. Fox 4's Allison Harris is live tonight with more. Allison.
Heather, there are two different protests in Dallas tonight. One that started at Dallas Police Headquarters, another that started outside of Dallas City Hall. One of the groups is now near Clyde Warren Park. The other group is outside of City Hall. Both of these groups, by all accounts and everything that we've seen monitoring them, are both peaceful. We did just see one of the groups, the group that started at Dallas Police Headquarters, march down into the parking garage at City Hall. Take a look at them chanting right outside the doors there.
We really thought they was going to change today behind a black woman?
Earlier tonight, that same group that marched to Dallas City Hall, we heard from them outside of DPD headquarters. We heard from several black women speaking very emotionally and passionately about Breonna Taylor and what this indictment today, not in connection to her death, means to this community. One woman questioned, did you really think that things were going to change because of a black woman? Activists and protesters do not feel like justice has been served. Protesters are talking about the need to keep being loud, keep getting loud like they're doing tonight, to continue to fight for equality and justice, and especially talking about the need to get out the vote to create change.
As we march tonight, if y'all want to get reckless, you want to get loud, I'm with it. I'm sorry. We have to make a statement, and I'm tired of no justice, no peace with no action behind it. So, that's that.
And I'm just now seeing and learning that one group has blocked McKinney and Pearl, so they are blocking an intersection. And I should say, for a little while earlier tonight, that same group that originated at City Hall was blocking Ross and Ackerd. So as they're marching, they are blocking some of these intersections in the downtown area. I did talk to some activists in Dallas earlier today who tell me that this is not about black people versus police, but rather the sanctity of life and the ability to move around freely or even be safe at home without fear of being killed by the people who are meant to protect.
I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally spent. We've gone through this an endless number of times.
And shot and killed someone.
More calls of no justice, no peace in Dallas Wednesday night as protesters gathered outside police headquarters and City Hall to voice the outrage they feel that, once again, justice has not been served.
And so here we are again, a young, beautiful black woman, just starting adulthood. One of our heroes, a frontline worker, at home, in her bed, where all of us should feel safe, killed by the police.
No Louisville officers were charged in the police shooting death of Breonna Taylor. A grand jury indicted one officer, Brett Hankison, on 3 counts of wanton endangerment for firing into neighboring apartments.
No one was charged with murder. No one even charged with manslaughter.
The news comes 1 year to the day the Amber Geiger trial started in Dallas. Sammy Berry was his minister.
We were, it was good. We were happy that we got a murder conviction of Amber Geiger. But with this case and Breonna Taylor's case, you know, no one's indicted for murder. I was shocked because I see the death of Breonna as a tragedy. You know, it was a great tragedy. So the non-indictment of the officers is also a tragedy.
To him, the death of George Floyd this summer and now the lack of an indictment in Taylor's death means that nothing has changed. Berry urges nonviolence and no rioting, but understands why people are protesting.
You know, since the time of George Floyd, the community has said, hey, we have lost hope in people in political power, in our local government, federal government, in our police departments, and that's why, you know, people are taking to the streets.
These activists are continuing to ask the question, when will this stop? Some of the chants that we heard tonight were, of course, say her name, Breonna Taylor, talking about the whole system being guilty. I want to reiterate that these protests that we've seen in Dallas have been peaceful from the accounts that we have seen and received from what we are monitoring. There is a group right now outside of Dallas City Hall and another group marching through downtown Dallas right now outside of near Clyde Warren Park, possibly shutting down the intersection at McKinney and Pearl, but we've seen them do that at different spots like Ross and Ackerd and then keep marching. So we're continuing to monitor this as these protesters march through downtown Dallas.